Hey noobs, Mr. Frog here. Recently, there seems to be a great deal of interest in short stack goblin waifus on the internet. From large content creators having their goblin stashes exposed, to Twitter feeds being flooded with goblin art, the goblin craze cannot be escaped. Even recently on this very channel, we have seen a notable increase in goblin goonery from games such as Dungeon Vixens. Well, fear not, because it seems this trend is still going strong, as developers BFGS and channel favorite publisher Mango Party have recently released Holiness the Gobliness, a new idle simulation game that revolves entirely around spending time with and romancing a short stack goblin waifu. Now, the game opens in a typical isekai fashion, where you suddenly awake in a strange desert after fainting one day. Lost and frantic, you are eventually saved by a small goblin shaman who introduces herself as Anu. She explains to you that the temple she serves has fallen into a bit of disrepair. Thankfully though, the temple is dedicated to the goddess of fertility Bastet, and Anu believes that if you two were to spend some romantic time together, it could restore Bastet's currently low energy reserves and repair the temple to its former glory. The protagonist, being a bit of a goblin gooner himself, agrees to stay in the temple and take care of all of Anu's needs. Now this sounds like a lot of work at first, but really all you need to do is watch Anu's hunger and place some food on the table for her to eat as needed, as well as decorate the temple with objects for her to interact with. As Anu interacts with these objects, you will also earn some currency, which you can then use to unlock additional furniture pieces by exchanging this currency with Bastet to summon new objects. Summoning has a slight gacha mechanic to it, where you will get a random item, with some being more rare than others. Thankfully though, you do not seem to be able to get duplicates here, so the gacha mechanic really isn't too bad or frustrating. There is also only 16 furniture items in total, which is a bit disappointing, but each of them do have their own unique H scenes that can be unlocked by interacting with Anu as she is using them, so it is a bit understandable here. As previously mentioned, it is also an idle game, so the gameplay is unfortunately pretty limited here. It plays more similar to a Tamagotchi or other virtual pet style game, just instead of a cute pet, you take care of a busty goblin. It's a very chill and relaxing game that you can easily and casually play on a second monitor while doing other activities. The entire game can also be played with just your mouse, which does qualify this game as being fully one-hand playable. While the game lacks an interactive gameplay, I do think it more than makes up for with the real content of this game, the H content. The H scenes in Holiness the Gobliness are mostly earned through interacting with Anu as she uses the furniture around the temple. The scenes are usually centered around each of the specific objects as well, with many of them being quite creative and comical, such as the toy car decoration. Aside from the furniture scenes, there are also a few other unique H scenes that can also be unlocked while interacting with Anu in places such as the bathroom, hot springs, and the bed at night. Additionally, each of these locations have second alternate scenes that can also be unlocked if performed while Anu is in heat, which is a feature unlocked later in the game. The scenes are both animated and voice acted, with a large variety of H situations that should appeal to most people. The scenes are also more on the wholesome and cute side, without much in the way of harsher content. The only real downside here is that unfortunately, there are no scenes involving Bastet, so sorry to those who were mostly interested in her, it is not in the game. For the goblin enjoyers out there though, I do think the game delivers quality H scenes that make it worth playing. It is a rather short H game though, with the main story fully wrapping up after only a few in-game days. Unlocking 100% of the H scenes will take a bit longer though, but the majority of this is waiting for Anu to enter heat mode for the alternative scenes. Regardless though, due to the game's lower price point, I think it offers a fair amount of content that you can casually play and complete the game without it overstaying its welcome. Overall, Holiness the Gobliness is a fun and enjoyable idle simulation game for those looking for a more casual, cute, and wholesome H experience. Those looking for more interactive gameplay, a longer game, or those who are simply not interested in goblin romance, however, you will probably not enjoy this one. If you do fall into the first camp though, then I definitely recommend giving this one a shot. With that being said, Mr. Frog awards this game a decent Mr. Frog sip of approval. Have you played this game? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. And if you'd like to see more H-game content, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Also, make sure to check out Mr. Frog's stream over on Twitch. Later, noobs.